Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man DB. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when new materials coming out. IG Elephant Man _ podcast, Facebook / Elephant Man Podcast. That Facebook is growing. Twitter / Poster Boys, and on YouTube. If you want to subscribe on the YouTube, just hit the little Paleo Hebrew in the top right or the top bottom. Also, Rumble. We're getting our Rumble together. BitChute, Hebrew Connect, Hebrew Sphere, and Odyssey. Shalom, blessings to all. I did not even mean to come on like this. I just want to come on real quick and just chat with you guys real quick before I got some other things to do. I got to put some seedlings in the ground. Not in the ground, I'm sorry, in the cup to get them going. Yeah, I know I'm about 2 weeks late on my seedlings. I had a lot of stuff going on, but I will still be able to get my greens and my tomatoes and all that. And now we have webinars coming soon. Webinars is coming soon. A grow culture, grow health, sustainability. Time to grow. Let's get growing. All right. And also on Sunday, this Sunday at our weekly build, we got her in the house, y'all. Sister E, she agreed to come on and chop it up. I got so many questions to ask her. It's an honor and a privilege to have Sister E come on Sunday, 6 p.m. Central. Yeah. Blessings to y'all. Woke baby. Says subscribe, like, and share. Woke baby. Thank you guys. 90,000 views. Thank you guys. Since mid-March, 90,000 views. Now that's a drop in the bucket to some channels, but to me, it's a milestone. So I thank you. Blessings to everybody in the chat. Rohan, blessings to you. We're not going to be on here long. Shalithia, 51. Shetla. I always say Shalithia. 51. Blessings to you. Shalom, Israel. You love Yah. Salama Yasharah. Blessings, shalom to you. Ernest Higgs, blessings, shalom. Shabbat shalom to you. Blessings. Shabbat shalom, Angela Bowden. Blessings. Yeah. Woke baby. That's my woke baby. All right. So we got a few things to talk about. That's one of the few things I'm gonna chop it up, and I'm not gonna harp over the 400 years. But I got some interesting things dealing with the 400 years, the moving to the continent. But we're gonna say that for later because I want to go over a few other little things that's been going on. Just chop it up with you guys, and then we're gonna get some scriptures, and we're gonna get out of here. But the first thing I want to share with is, it's been, can you believe it's been a year since the mandatory jabs situation, right? You had some churches that was like, yo, we're going to be a center for you to get the jab, So I'm like, it doesn't matter, whatever your decision is. But all I just say is pray about it and make an educated decision, and don't force me to do or anything that I say I'm good, love. Don't force me to do it. Don't threaten. Don't manipulate me. Don't demonize me or ostracize me or say, yo, you can't work, because you didn't take the jab, and you're gonna get everybody else infected. And we come a year later, really 2 years later, we're more educated about it. We're not as fearful of it, right? And a lot of stuff that was said is not the truth. It's just a plain out lie. Whether you believe in depopulation or population control or anything like that, or if it's a conspiracy theory, that's not what I'm at. But I'm saying you should be able to make an educated decision, educate yourself, right? And you should also be able to say no. My body, my choice, right? I thought. So I want to go, this is a year later, and Dr. Fauci he came out, PBS put a documentary out on him. He retired from the CDC in December. They put a documentary out on him. But before then, they had got some raw footage. It's interesting. Rob Soul from the Hill got some raw footage, and he was campaigning and going and trying to get the so-called African Americans to take the jab. And I remember when it came to Gary, Indiana, because I'm in the Chicagoland, Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana is a chocolate city for real. I would say over 88% black, over 88% so-called African American. And they had a whole thing set up, right? A whole situation set up, right? Now we the front of the line when it comes to that, right? You can't sue, you can't do any of those things. But when it comes to the side effects, it just is what it is. Any side effects you have, everything, even including up to death, it has nothing to do with the jab. Matter of fact, if you fall over dead, it's because you didn't take the jab. And that's the stuff that they were selling to us. But this is interesting right here from the Hill. When they was talking about why was Fauci harassing the so-called African Americans about C-19, and so this is some footage about what Dr. Fauci was trying to push on to our community. So it's a year and a half, 2 years afterwards. But check out the raw footage that did make some of the documentary.
Robbie, what's on your radar today?
Well, at the end of last year, Dr. Anthony Fauci finally retired from active government service. He had served as the head of the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases since 1984. His long tenure made him the highest paid employee in the federal government. Fauci has vowed that his retirement from official government service would not be a retirement from public life entirely. He has promised to remain an active spokesperson for his public health message. After all, he is clearly someone who enjoys giving interviews. To that end, Dr. Fauci is the subject of a new documentary series by PBS, which will be released today. It's called American Masters, Dr. Tony Fauci. Now, the documentary filmmakers actually began following Fauci around with their cameras 2 years ago in January of 2021. As such, they have footage of Fauci from much earlier in the pandemic. Some of those clips were released ahead of the full film and went viral on social media the other day. Let's watch and see if you can guess why. In this clip, Fauci can be seen going door to door with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser in Anacostia, a predominantly black and poorer neighborhood of Washington, D.C., to encourage unvaccinated residents to get the shot this is the spring or summer of 2021. Let's watch.
Do you think it hurts, or what is?
No, it does other things to me. I just pass out.
How old are you? I'm older than you, so don't feel badly. Don't feel bad. I'm 80.
Me too.
Oh, good.
Me too. I'm 82.
That's one of the reasons why you might want to reconsider.
People aren't really opposed.
Yeah, I know.
They do need a.
They need a little push.
A push and a drag.
Yeah.
Later in the clip, Fauci laments that Republican-controlled states are less willing to force pandemic control measures on their citizens.
What are we going to do about those other states?
Oh, my God. They're going to keep the smoldering in the country. It's so crazy. I mean, they're not doing it because they say they don't want to do it. They're Republicans. They don't like to be told what to do.
Right.
And we got to break that, unpack that.
But what I really want to focus on is this.
How you guys doing with vaccine?
I haven't gotten it yet. I'm waiting for them to be able to.
Oh, you should get it first. Okay, that way you won't give it to them.
Oh, I thought I would give it to them if I get it.
No, not at all. In fact, we got to get you vaccinated so that if you were to get infected, you could pass it on to them. So you're actually protecting your family by getting it vaccinated.
Well, I heard that it doesn't cure it, and it doesn't stop you from getting it.
No.
So
on the very, very, very rare chance that you do get it, even if you're vaccinated, you don't even feel sick. It's like you don't even know you got infected. It's very, very good at protecting you.
In that clip, Fauci and Bowser correct a woman who notes that the vaccine doesn't really stop you from getting COVID. Now, this video was filmed in the spring or summer of 2021 at a time when there were, in fact, many fewer breakthrough cases than there have been as of today. In the long run, though, that woman was right, and Fauci was wrong. The vaccine does not offer substantial protection against contracting COVID-19. Let's keep watching.
So I'm not going to
be lining up taking a shot on a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to
But
create
Dr.
vaccination.
Fauci,
Well,
he's
it
for
used to
his
take
vaccine.
years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be
20
able to
years
do
is
it
not
quickly.
enough. And 9 months is definitely not
No.
enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the common flu then, right?
Again, at the time the video was recorded, COVID was killing far more people than the flu. But how has the claim made by Mayor Bowser held up? She said she was only comfortable getting so close to the man because she was vaccinated, implicitly suggesting that she believed the vaccine was protecting her from contracting COVID. And she said that mass vaccination was needed to beat back cases. Now, I want to be very clear that the vaccines are tremendously important for at-risk Americans, including and especially the elderly, who are disproportionately likely to become very sick if they contract COVID, particularly the first time. And public officials are welcome to opine to everyday Americans that they'd like them to consider vaccination. But so many of the claims made by Bowser and by Fauci in that video just do not stand up to scrutiny anymore. In fact, if one is being remotely consistent or honest, some of the views expressed or implied there by Fauci and Bowser constitute outdated misinformation. The best info we have about COVID right now is that vaccines offer some protection against infection, perhaps for a time, and natural immunity acquired from infection, is about as protective against severe disease as a shot of the vaccine. In the light of day, in 2023, there are some relevant questions if you really want to persuade someone to get vaccinated. Have you previously had COVID? Which strain? How old are you? Do you have a health condition? Are you in an at-risk category? But the time this footage was taken, policymakers were still laboring under the assumption that mass vaccination was necessary from a public health perspective to prevent the spread of the disease. Fauci thought he needed to get a high percentage of the population vaccinated in order to achieve herd immunity. Remember that? This was a belief that turned out to be wrong. So is anyone going to add a misinfo label to this documentary that's coming out years later? Are government health scientists going to call for it to be banned from social media? No. Why not? Because that's how the federal government handled COVID misinformation in the past. Internal emails between the CDC and Twitter, Facebook, and other giant social media companies have shown that federal bureaucrats constantly lobbied content moderators to censor speech that they thought contained errors about COVID. When you get it wrong, they shut you up. When Fauci gets it wrong, they make him a movie star.
Wow. And that's just came out right now. Fair use. Now, that video is on YouTube. Now watch, I'm gonna play my fair use real quick. So I don't want nobody saying you're spreading. No, I'm playing a video that is on YouTube. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Again, fair use. All right, fair use, fair use. I want to be able to use that fair use. So we are 2 years in, at least a year and a half in, and we're more educated about it. And it's okay to question the narrative. It's okay to say, no, I want more information on it. This is a life-altering decision. You see how people, I want you to look up diedsuddenly.info. I definitely can't play it on this channel. Diedsuddenly.info. Okay? We are educated more now. See, that one is brother at the end, he was going in, right? And that was at the beginning of the stage when we didn't know. Now, some people did die, this, that, and the other. And then we had some people that was in the medical field with the chest poked out. Well, you didn't go to medical school, this, that, and the other. You want me to trust the science and trust you and ye of your father, the devil. All right? So I don't know if they're going to take this show down or not. If they do, I'll just upload it to BitChute. But I'm just saying, we're further along now. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying in that incident, educate yourself, pray to the Ruach, and let them lead you, right? Because that's why they put a familiar face to help you. That's the same thing with the Tuskegee thing. They put a familiar face. They put that church bishop. They put the mayor. They put somebody that you trust. Do you roll your sleeve? You're more than likely to roll your sleeve up with somebody that you trust. They do that with endorsements, right? They're trying to sell their products. They know not to get up there, but they put somebody that's represents you and look like you, and then you're more than likely to buy whatever they're trying to sell. It's classic. So let's see what's going on with that. Smithers, Rainy Powell, shalom, blessings to you. Shalom, Calvin Andrews, blessings to you. William Smithers, blessings to you. Oh, it just jumped so fast. This chat going fast. Lynn Bernard, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Yeah. So we just got to educate ourselves. Shalom, GLC in the building, Aruka at the well. If you haven't checked out that build with Brother Karras on this past Wednesday, and then with me the Wednesday after that, check it out. Like, subscribe to her channel. Very sound. Very, 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 very sound. All right. This what she said, dang. Yeah, so we gotta educate ourselves. It's not about he right, she wrong, I told you so. It's about us being in one piece, right? And not moving scared. And that's the reason I show that is because every time something comes up, I do not like this fellow on the hill. You're right. I feel you on this. It's him. It's the reacted guy. It's the what's the guy? The Seth Rogen or whatever the guy name is, and it's another guy named the InfoWars guy, the real popular guy. But guess what? I told you it's a war going on. It's two different ideologies. It's two different thoughts. So it's basically like if you are in a glass house, you shouldn't throw stones, right? So what usually happens is, okay, they'll work together on certain things. Two sides, right? They'll work together on certain things, but when it comes into their area, then they whistle blow. So you need that information. You need the Jesse Venturas and all of them to tell the inside, okay, but when it comes to coming to something else, they're gonna hide it, right? They're gonna hide their end, right? This is the left agenda and this. No, the right is wicked too. The left and the right is both wicked. Left wing, right wing, same bird. But I digress. But I'm saying they're together but not together. And if you look at that the feet on the statue in the dream and Daniel Nebuchadnezzar had, and what is the feet? There's 10 toes. It's part iron, part clay, which means it's not cohesive. It's not together, right? It's not together. It's somewhat together. It's formed, but it's not together. So we got people with different ideologies and different plans, and but they're not together. So when they get upset with each other, one side tell the other side's business. So we need that info. So I get what you're saying as far as not feeling that dude from the hill. Yeah, a lot of those different guys reacted. No, I watch all of them because they're gonna tell the business, because if their freedom or whatever they want is compromised, then they'll turn around and say, they'll tell all the business. So that's just that's why I watch them. All right, so this is the next thing too. This place is going wild. Why are you laughing? Praise Yah. All right, so the next thing, we get into Africa in the 400 years and moving to the continent. We're going to get to that. But I'm just sharing a few little things, chewing the fat with you. Two other things, and then we're going to get to that. The next thing is teacher attacks teen for refuse to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Sometimes freedom of speech go out the door, right? Some people still think you 3/5 of a man, right? Somebody still think that you are a slave, right? Well, check it out.
Flag so dearly, they were willing to fight for it. That would be how MAGA would headline the story. But again, that's not us. So let me tell you the real deal here. A teacher accosted a teen for refusing to pledge of allegiance. Is this not incredible? It's kind of like what gangs do. If you don't, the gang rules, we're going to attack you. You do it our way, right up to the gang signs. Marissa Barnwell's her name. 15-year-old student at River Bluff High School in Lexington, South Carolina. She says she was physically assaulted by a teacher for refusing to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Wow. Okay. And might I say, she looks like an angel. I don't know if she is, but that's how she looks. And if she doesn't want to say the pledge, well, not in this classroom, apparently. Now her parents are suing Lexington School District 1 Superintendent Rita Postlewaite. River Bluff principal Jacob Smith in the center there. River Bluff teacher Nicole Livingston on the right. And South Carolina Department of Education on this young lady's behalf. According to the lawsuit filed February 13th, on November 29, 2022, Barnwell, Black honor roll student, was walking in the hallway on her way to class when the Pledge of Allegiance began to play over the intercom. Barnwell allegedly refrained in a non-disruptive manner to acknowledge the pledge as she walked into her classroom. Livingston began yelling and demanding that Barnwell stop to acknowledge the pledge, then physically assaulted her by pushing her on a wall. Livingston then escorted her to the principal's office to be further punished. Barnwell said she was in
Sorry about
disbelief
that.
during the incident and even told Livingston
Sorry,
to
y'all.
get your hands off of me. When Barnwell told Smith what happened, he told her he would review the video footage, send her back to class with her alleged abuser. She called her mother in tears. Barnwell was extremely upset, emotionally disturbed. That, according to the lawsuit. Barnwell said at a news conference Thursday, I was completely and utterly disrespected. No one has apologized. No one has acknowledged my hurt. The fact that the school is defending that kind of behavior is unimaginable. That's the first argument I have with what the teenagers. It's very credible. We believe it. Trust me. I was completely, utterly disrespected. Yep, you were. Barnwell said she was the only African American in the hallway that morning. She was targeted because of that. No other student was confronted by the teacher. River Bluff is a majority white school. Over 73% of the student body is white, according to U.S. News and World Report. Lawsuit claims the encounter violated Barnwell's constitutional rights and violated the First and 14th Amendments. It is well established that the government cannot compel anyone to acknowledge the Pledge of Allegiance, the lawsuit says. Isn't this, I thought we knew this. Not everybody. Under South Carolina law, anyone who does not want to participate is exempt, cannot be penalized. They're allowed to express non-participation in any way that does not infringe on the rights of others or disrupt school activities. Walking in the hallway, minding her business. Following the incident, Barnwell's parents said they never heard from the district, and now they're trying to seek accountability for Livingston's actions. But Livingston, Postlewaite, Smith, the school district, the Department of Education refused to accept any responsibility. Why not follow the law? River Bluff High School website indicates Livingston, a special education teacher, is still employed by the district. Libby Roof, the chief communications officer for Lexington School District 1.
All right. So that's a lot of trauma. So we pray for that family, and hopefully they, that's a lot of trauma. We deal with a lot of trauma on a lot of different areas, and that's not to incite anger, hostility, to bring out the world's smallest violin for us, but every layer of society, we incite a lot of trauma. Now, when 9/11 happened, they had this big patriotic push, but you can't choke it to somebody or force somebody to do it. And what's coming up, what's going on with the United States is they they need all the help they can get, right? They say recruiting is at an all-time low. They're trying to get I think a 63 billion dollar weapons package to fight multiple people. I'm going to show you some of these clips, man. What's going on? Pride comes before the fall. Every dog has its day. It's incredible. It's incredible. But that's not the way how you get it by harassing people. That's not the way how you do it, right? But they're trying to fight everybody. I've pulled up literally within the last couple of weeks, Iran, China, Russia, possibly Mexico, and then North Korea. So before I ask my question, I'm going to look at these comments and I'm going to show this next video. Then we're going to get to our 400 years, Exodus, going to the continent, discussion of the reason why we're here. Yeah, bring it out. Yeah, so basically, we have to we got to pray for that family, man. Now, she's a young lady, and it also says she was an honor student as well. So she's not causing any problem, causing any scene. You know what I mean? And so it's just real. It's just real crazy, man. The stuff that they go through, as you know. But I'm gonna show this next video real quick. I'm gonna share this thing about Iran. So you know about Iran. I'm not gonna share all of it, but I'm gonna share this one little quick video. Okay, the ads coming in. All right, sorry guys. I'm gonna show this. We're literally trying to fight with 3 different countries. Check it out. Check it out. I present next short video, so they ain't gonna be long, y'all. Thank y'all for chopping it up with me. Here we go.
We start this hour with more breaking news out of Syria. Overnight, an Iranian drone strike in Syria killed a U.S. contractor and injured 5 U.S. service members, along with another contractor. Good morning to you once again from News Nation in Chicago. I'm Marnie Hughes. This attack happened at a U.S. coalition base, northeast part of Syria. And we are also hearing at this hour and have confirmed another attack targeting Americans in Syria. I want to bring in Allison Harris now from the White House, latest on both of these attacks. Allison.
Yeah, Marnie, you just said it. News Nation has confirmed this other attack happening, targeting an American base in northeast Syria. Reports describe it as a lot of rocket fire, but a spokesperson tells News Nation there are no U.S. casualties. And this comes a day after President Biden ordered airstrikes on Iran-backed facilities in Syria. And that is in response to retaliation. In retaliation, the Pentagon calls an Iranian drone strike on a U.S. coalition base in northeast Syria. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin says the retaliatory attacks by the U.S. targeted groups affiliated with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. The secretary blames that Iranian drone for killing 1 U.S. contractor, wounding another U.S. contractor, and injuring 5 U.S. troops. The secretary stating, as President Biden has made clear, we will take all necessary measures to defend our people and will always respond at a time and place of our choosing. No group will strike our troops with impunity. Our thoughts are with the family and colleagues of the contractor who was killed and with those who were wounded in the attack. And the U.S. Central Command, which carried out those precision airstrikes by the U.S., stating, we are postured for scalable options in the face of any additional Iranian attacks. Our troops remain in Syria to ensure the enduring defeat of ISIS, which benefits the security and stability of not only Syria, but the entire region. It is estimated that 900 U.S. troops remain in Syria as.
All right, so that's one. That's one. I'm gonna play all 4 of them. I ain't gonna play all of them. I'm gonna play all 4 of them. That's one. So we try. So that's the Iran, right? Then y'all already know about China when they flew a balloon over our country, right? Over the United States. Now, I'm not even patriotic like that. I'm not even tripping off Babylon like that, but that's plain disrespect. That's plain disrespect. But it is what it is. Check this out.
What is the significance of this dark challenge from Xi Jinping?
Xi Jinping and his foreign minister, Qin Gang, are building a case for war. They're trying to justify a strike on the United States. James Lilly, our great ambassador to Beijing in the 1980s and 1990s, put it best when he said, the Chinese always telegraph their punches. Well, Xi Jinping is telegraphing his punch.
How important is the military in China at the moment?
It's getting more and more power over the political system. And we see this, at the National People's Congress, which is now ongoing. They announced a 7.2% increase in the Chinese military budget. We don't know what exactly it'll be, but it's certainly greater than GDP growth for this year. Just go back to last year. They announced a 7.1% increase for 2022. They actually had GDP growth of reported 3.0, but a lot of economists and analysts think it was actually negative. That shows you the Chinese military is getting so much power in the system.
Yeah.
And that means the Chinese military are now thinking about what they can do, not what they should do. And one of the things they think they can do and did was to fly the spy balloon over our country.
McCarthy, he's going to meet Taiwan's president in California. He's not going to Taiwan. Are you disappointed with that?
I'm a little bit in the sense that McCarthy going to Taipei was a deterrence message. Now, I don't care if he actually goes to Taipei, but if he doesn't, then Tsai Ing-wen, the Taiwan president, should be met in Washington, D.C. That's a clever way of getting back at the Chinese.
All right. So we know, updated with that one. I seen the video where they got some Chinese fighting men and Chinese soldiers coming in at the border at the United States. So that's interesting, right? Then that happened. The thing that happened with down in Mexico, right? With the two of the people that got killed in Mexico. Now they thinking about invading Mexico. Now my question is this. I'm gonna go and ask the question now. Man, what? So you got a possible fight with Russia, China, North Korea, Mexico, Iran, and your citizens, right? Because that was one of the things that Pharaoh back in Egypt feared. It's like, yo, and even in chattel slavery and everything, yo, they're gonna want to fight with the British. They're gonna want to fight with the quote unquote North because we treat them so bad, and then we want to put them in the suit and have them fight on our behalf. Now, you are the enemy, for the most part. But how are you gonna try to have a fight with somebody that share your border? That's insane. That's not even a good business move, right? And again, on a business move tip, that don't even make logic. Like, even because we are consuming the United States as a country, we do a lot of consuming, and they don't manufacture nothing. All China got to do is shut off the import, right? And it's on and popping. And you already got trillions of dollars in debt. Where are you getting all of these weapons from? You're giving Ukraine money, right, to fight Russia, was going to make the Russia mad. Like, it don't make no sense. It really don't make no sense. But I know it's by design, but check this out. Might fight.
Covered a number of stories of Republican politicians sort of casually floating this idea of, hey, maybe we should go to war with Mexico. I know it sounds like I'm making it up, but check the record. Check the Secular Talk YouTube channel. You will see Marjorie Taylor Greene came out and said it. Dan Crenshaw, or as I call him, Eye Patch McGee, he said it. It's a idea that's actually gaining steam. Like, there's been a number of conservative politicians who are like, yeah, war with Mexico. Let's do it. Totally psychotic. Well, anyway, now we got another instance of exactly that being floated. Here's Jesse Waters, America's douchiest frat boy, talking to Lindsey Graham, and I'll let it speak for itself.
Talk about failure. You just saw a report at the top about these hostages that have just been taken in Mexico. And it doesn't look like the Biden administration even really knows much about it, or they don't really have a plan for it. What would Lindsey Graham do in this situation?
Well, I would follow Bill Barr's advice and get tough on Mexico. It's not just the hostages. Number one, I'd do everything I could to get them back. I'd do what Trump did. I'd put Mexico on notice. If you continue to give safe haven to fentanyl drug dealers, then you're an enemy of the United States. 70 to 100,000 people have died from fentanyl poisoning coming from Mexico and China, and this administration has done nothing about it. So Bill Barr's idea about, I'm going to introduce legislation, Jesse, to make certain Mexican drug cartels, foreign terrorist organizations under U.S. law, and set the stage to use military force if necessary to protect America from being poisoned by things coming out of Mexico. So what would Lindsey Graham do? I would tell Mexican government, if you don't clean up your act, we're going to clean it up for you.
All right. Now you share a border with Canada and Mexico, right? If you don't clean your act up, we're gonna clean it up for you. You're a terrorist and you brought fentanyl in our country and you did all of this different stuff. Boy, you ain't gonna have no friends left. Like, how you gonna fight the world? How you gonna fight everybody, man? Like, is that just spicy talk? Like, for real though? Is that just I gotta talk crazy? Or do you really, 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 really believe that you can pull it off? You're gonna fight everybody. Like, and this the last one. This the last one, I promise. This is crazy. Like, that's a I mean, anyway, they US and South Korea was doing war game drills. You don't you don't play war. They got war game drills like that movie back in the day, war game drills, right? And they down there with South Korea just having, North Korea like, man, what's going on? What y'all doing? And I'm gonna show you the map. Matter of fact, after I share this, I'm gonna show you the map of how close North Korea is to South Korea for some of y'all that might not know. Let me see, can I find that map? I got that map saved in here. But I got that map saved in here. I didn't upload it. Yeah, I do. Here you go. This is how close North Korea is to South Korea. Okay, China is in the green, North Korea is red, and South Korea is blue. So you got the United States and South Korea doing war games, pretending like they fighting Russia, China, North Korea. Man, that's disrespectful. So you can come over to Taiwan and South Korea and Japan and play war games, and right? You can, but you don't want Russia to say nothing to Ukraine, which Ukrainians are Russians. This is insane. This is plain Jane insane. But I'm gonna show this last video, and then we're gonna get to go on to the content thing, the real reason why we're here. But I just had these, and I didn't never get a chance to go over this stuff. So, all right.
Missiles off its east coast in response to what Kim Jong-un sees as growing aggression, his words, from South Korea and its allies. That's coming just days after North Korea simulated a nuclear attack on South Korea Monday, which brings us to tonight's original. In-depth reporting on a topic we've been watching. These latest missile launches by North Korea are in response to the biggest war games in the region between the U.S. and South Korea in 5 years. Our own Josh Letterman is there in the middle of the action, behind the scenes for these live fire exercises with artillery Black Hawk choppers and more. Here's Josh.
Not far from the North Korean border, U.S. and South Korean troops are practicing for a war they hope they'll never fight. Over 11 days, the two militaries training as one, firing live artillery, flying attack helicopters, and practicing amphibious operations. War games the U.S. says are defensive and no threat to North Korea unless it attacks first.
The U.S. and South Korea haven't conducted war games on this scale in 6 years. But after recent North Korean provocations, including just today, military officials say they are more important than ever.
Do you feel ready if a conflict were to break out here tonight?
100%. Absolutely. In the middle of today's exercises, North Korea launching multiple cruise missiles into the Sea of Japan. A searing reminder of what's at stake. Last year, North Korea test-fired more than 70 missiles, the most ever. Recent imagery from North Korean state media suggests the North is using underground silos. Military analysts say that could allow it to launch ballistic missiles with no notice.
In the past, this was developmental testing, but now I think they're actually doing exercises. So nuclear warfighting exercises, ballistic missile attack exercises, bomber run exercises. So I don't call these developmental tests anymore.
After decades of tensions, the U.S. appears to have largely run out of options to deal with Pyongyang's growing nuclear threat. This South Korean commander says we'll establish a decisive battle to fight and win.
These military exercises are taking place just 10 miles from the demilitarized
Look
zone.
at this dude
North
at the
Korea
actual
calls them
scene.
rehearsals for an invasion.
Nothing motivates a U.S. soldier to be all they can be more than sleeping 10 miles from an adversary. And when that adversary is firing bullets, it provides an incredible focus to this training.
This week, Kim Jong-un overseeing what North Korea called a simulation of a nuclear counterstrike against U.S. and South Korean forces. At the North Korean leader's side, his daughter, Kim Ju-ae, believed to be about 10 years old. Until recently, her existence was a mere rumor. Now, North Korea is putting her front and center, fueling intense speculation about whether she's being groomed to one day replace her father. Almost nothing is known about Kim Ju-ae, but South Korean intelligence believes she's being homeschooled.
That's wild. That's wild stuff. You see, man, I'm going to read this scripture, and it says Proverbs 16:18, right? Pride goes before destruction, and the haughty spirit before a fall. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall, right? And I think about the immorality. Like, you ain't even got to fight your way to stay on top. The immorality, right? And also the morale, right? If the soldiers ain't got the rations and the food, right? Or they out there trying to fight and they get a call like, yo, they got boots on the ground and they done took your whole camp. You feel what I'm saying? Like Ziglag with David. Like, yo, man, they got your daughter and your wife and all. The morale gonna go down, right? And then the funding. Like, you need funding to do this stuff. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. And it's about territory. It's about the pride, right? The lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, pride of life, literally. It's about territory, man. It's crazy. So I'm gonna read some of these. Every bully meets his match at some point. Yeah, absolutely. I really believe that. Shabbat shalom, Pamela Hood. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Parish Yah. Shabbat shalom. Blessed to you. My life totally. Shalom. Blessings to you. Shalom. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna bring it out. We definitely gonna bring it out. But I just think that it's just very, very interesting, man. It's just very, 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 very interesting. Like, how you gonna delusional. You just gonna fight everybody. Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm gonna say this. John Wick is a movie. You feel me? Commando is a movie. Rambo is a movie. Right? Jet Li, Bruce Lee, all that's movies. That's movies. You're not finna slap this one down, back kick this one, throw this one into him. You know how you see how the action movies be. It'd be one dude surrounded, and he just slap, kick, sweep him, boom, pap, take his gun, shoot him with the gun. You know, man, John Wick is a movie. Daryl Wisdom, shalom, shalom, Mishpachah, shalom. What? Lester Adams, Elder Lester Adams in the building, blessings. But they don't do as we do because you are evil. That's why United States of America said. Elder Adams is rare form. Blessings to you, Elder. That is insane. So, all that to say, we know why folk is like panicking and like, yo, it's time to leave. It's time to go to the continent, this, that, and the other. That goes to my point right here. But one thing I want to say, even on that, just like when with the first two stories, and I was talking about do your due diligence, and when it comes to the jab, right, you have to do that to the continent as well, right? Because we had a few people. Well, one of my men, shout out to my man Eshawn Burgundy. I'm gonna show some of his video, but Africa is not what I expected. He was transparent on it. Now, he didn't dog the whole experience out, but basically he was saying he took some, he took some lumps, and They went through some trials and they got just not getting settled. They've been over there for like 2 years. So I'm gonna share some of that video. I think it's very, very interesting. But before I share that video, I just want to say this. Excuse me. I just want to say that, let me play the other thing. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. But I just want to say we don't need to have internal fights. We pray for one another. Some of us are further along than others as far as revelational knowledge, right? Some of us think we're further along than others. We just gotta just, I mean, we quick to, to have friendly fire going on in Israel, man. So I'm praying for that, but it's Most High is going to do it. I can pray and prophesy for it, but the Most High is going to do it. We calling people out their names because they don't agree with us. What happened to agree to disagree, right? I've heard from several sources, oh, if you don't believe like I believe, you still under, drunk under the Eurocentric Christianity. Yeah, maybe not, right? But one man plant, another man water. Abba Yah has to give the increase. You can't yell it into him. You can't insult it into him, right? You can't do any of that. If Abba Yah don't get that revelation, they're not gonna get it, right? And he's not gonna just give you. Well, before I do that, I want to get to this scripture first. I'm gonna stop sharing that. I'm gonna share some scriptures, and then we're gonna get out of here because share the screen. 1 Peter. This is what I believe. Likewise, you younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you, be subject to one another, and be clothed with humility. Clothed with humility. This is the reason why the Most High don't give us everything, right? We prophesy in part, we preach in part. We think we got more and know more than what we got, and we don't. We don't. And that's just my opinion, right? And, he's not going to give you all this revelational knowledge and then you insult his little ones, right? You just offend and be rude and disrespectful to his people, right? I'll fear and tremble if he give me the revelation of something, but then get enough, because to whom much is given, much is required, right? But you continue to plant seeds and you continue to water seeds planted. But it's up to Abba to get an increase. What's another increase? The revelation, right? Yea, you be subject to one another and be clothed with humility. For Yah resist the proud and give grace to the humble. He resists the proud. He gives grace to the humble. Now I'm gonna look at this chart right here, ABCs, right? Let's say for instance, Yah want to show you all of these letters, right? Yah show you A. Yah show you B, right? He want to show you the rest of them. You start getting haughty and prideful, you're not going to learn the rest of this alphabet. You got on B, you on B and you deep, right? Now some folk, it's only one letter, it's A. And you on B saying, man, it's a whole bunch of letters. Go all the way to Z. But you're on B. All right? And you're dogging them out because they're not on B with you. Right? Talking, just talking, calling them all kind of names and insulting them. It's better you hang a millstone around your neck and be thrown into the sea than you offend one of my little ones, right? We don't want to be a denomination, right? And one thing that I see with the second Exodus, man, we got to be patient towards one another. It is crazy. It's crazy, right? Water, trains falling in water, water's being poisoned, chemtrails, and you name it, right? Chinese got boots to the ground, you name it. Right? Banks failing, you name it. But yeah, I need to quiet my spirit and hear your still small voice. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? It's up to him because he gonna get the glory. That's why I always say, no flesh gonna get zero glory in this. Not because you deep and you got on the boat in the right amount of time. No, that ain't no glory. Glory is when you at the Red Sea and it's like, we just done. And the Abba Yah say, no, You can't do anything. You have no more options but me. And if I don't save you, you don't get saved. And I open the Red Sea, whatever it is, and I let you go through on dry ground, and I destroy your enemies. Because when that happens, all the rest of the surviving nation is going to know, yo, that's Israel for real. You ain't going to have no 6-hour show on Berean TV with all them on there talking crazy about Israel and the UA community and all this different stuff. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. So you're not going to get this other revelation if you're not humble. Why should he show you the rest of it? Why is he going to show you the rest of it? He not. He is not. I'm sorry. He is not going to show you the rest of it. We're going to stay right at that little part you got until you humble yourself. Once you humble yourself, I'm going to show you some more. Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yah. He will exalt you in due time. He know when to exalt you. He know what you can handle. If you can't handle it, he ain't going to give it to you. Right? Now, we know knowledge puffeth up, and we in our flesh. Right? He gave us the letter B, and we want to just be puffed up because they can't see letter B or the rest of the alphabet. Feel me? No. To whom much is given, much is required. But yeah, you showed me B. They're still on A. What you want me to do with this? You want me to meditate on it? You want me to continue to plant seeds and water? Because I know you're going to get an increase. And the increase is when they get the revelation that, oh, it is some more letters to this alphabet. Right? Oh, we didn't. It ain't no replacement theology. Oh, man, there is a difference. Oh, right? So that's the first thing right there. Right? Be sober and vigilant because your adversary, Hasatan the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Resist steadfast in the faith. Resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. For Abba, the Abba of all grace, who have called us into his eternal glory in Yahushua HaMashiach, after that have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, be settled. So we have to, that's one thing we got to do, man. Straight up and down. We have to humble ourselves. I don't know why folk think he finna show you the whole alphabet. You just I mean, and I know it's frustrating. But he trusts you with the revelation he gave you. Right? I know it's frustrating. Right? But at the same time, he's showing us something in that too. Right? He's tearing. He's showing us how to tarry. He tarry with us. He's long suffering. He's showing us how to long suffer. I ain't saying don't cry loud and spare not. I'm saying it. But you know, it's we don't want nobody to have no hardened heart. Right? What are we saying? What are your strategies, Abba? How do you want us to do this? Right? Because evidently it came from you. Right? So flesh gets zero glory. Flesh gets zero glory. And this is another thing too. I don't want people to make the 400 years and the Exodus like the rapture doctrine. Right? And I'm seeing that. We making it like the rapture doctrine. Right? We're distracted. We got to, he say, man, look, why it's still caught today, you still tell people. You still plant, you still water, you still tell everybody. Don't go hiding in no cave. Because I'm telling you, the church, they was like, man, we finna be raptured out of here. They ain't working no more. They ain't kind. They ain't loving. They got to be revelation. And they just done. They just waiting to be taken out of here. And I seen that with the Exodus. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We just going to just stop working. We just going to stop telling everybody. We're going to stop interceding and praying and fasting and standing in the gap. That's not what that revelation is for. Right? And then one brother, because he was telling me about I remember this about 10 years ago. Brother was telling me about the rapture, this, that, and the other. And at one time I did believe in the pre-trib, right? Then I had some questions because of some stuff that I learned. This is before I knew who we was, Israel. And I was like, I don't know if I believe that. Right. And he said, you do believe in the rapture. I said, man, I don't know. But if I'm in right standings with him and it is a such thing, then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be taken up too, if that's what it is. And he said, oh no, brother, you gotta make your election sure. I'm like, what? So if I'm in right standings with the Most High, but I'm questioning or doubting the rapture, then I'm gonna be left behind with all the Kirk Cameron books, right? And so we hear that too, even with the Exodus. Man, you know what? Y'all hard headed. Y'all gonna drink this poisonous water and die while we over the continent having the greatest time of our. Oh man, it's work to do over there, right? It's work to do over there. 1, 2, it's not gonna be full peace until the Prince of Peace come, right? It ain't about us, it's about him. We are a part, but to whom much is given, much is required. So it's really at the end of the day, it's about him. And we fearing the wrong thing. Which go to my next scripture, Matthew 21. Whosoever shall fall on the stone shall be broken. But whosoever, if it shall fall on, will grind him to powder, not power, powder. Okay? That's Matthew 21 and 44. So one or two things gonna happen. If you fall on them, you're gonna be broken, which is a place of humbleness, humility. But if the rock fall on you, you're gonna be ground to powder, right? So we want to be broken so we can hear, right? So we can be humble, so the Most High can show us what He needs to show us. All right. So I think we fearing the wrong thing. I'm gonna show this last thing, then I'm gonna show this video. All right. So screen Matthew 7. Oh, this one. Fear not them, Matthew 10 to 28. Fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him, Yahushua HaMashiach, which is able to destroy both the body of the soul and the body in hell. Right? We got inordinate affections. We fearing the wrong thing. We fearing the wrong person. Right? We got to fear him. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we have to do. You know, we have to fear him. And we fearing, and it's crazy. You see it on the videos I just showed. I didn't show them videos that bring your spirit down or make you mad or to turn you up. I'm just saying, it's crazy. Fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both the soul and the body in hell. I know that's a hard scripture, but it is what it is, okay? So, in my last, do I got a last one? Okay, I'm gonna share this last one, and then we're gonna show this video from Brother Eshan. Right, 7. It's saying into the end of the straight gate. We got to ask the Most High how to do this, right? Or what part do we play? Because a lot of times we hear these different scriptures, and we just, oh, okay, love one another. Oh, okay, be humble. Okay, fruit of the spirit. Oh, okay. Right? You got all this revelation, but don't have no fruit. Right? People go harden their heart, and they ain't gonna get it, and then you're gonna be hurling more insults at them and calling them all kind of names. No, they don't understand. They don't know that a B exists, or they think the rest of I know the rest of the alphabet exists, but it's irrelevant. You're only supposed to do A, right? And that's okay if that's what they believe. We pray for them, intercede for them until they get the revelational knowledge. Right? Because what if the Abba Yah would have been like, all right, because you was on A at one time. You thought it was only A, and it's not. It's not. It's way more than only A. Okay? When I was saying A, for those who coming in late, I showed this alphabet, and I said we moved to letter B, and we dogging those who didn't move to letter B with us. And I said, Abba Yah, resist the proud, we give grace to the humble to get the rest of these alphabet. He is not going to keep giving you these downloads, and you just talking crazy to his sheep. I'm sorry, right? And then even in Eurocentric racist white Christianity, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. And they use that to say, don't talk to the sheep, don't talk to the bishop, don't do the bishop any kind of way, right? Don't you better not. You better watch it, layperson, right? That's all Catholicism, right? And I'm not saying disrespect the ministry or the minister, right? Because faith comes by hearing the word of the Most High. And if he's tuned into the Most High, you want him to be tuned in so he can get the oracle of the Most High. But then the Most High also wants you to have your one-on-one relationship with him too, so you can get your discernment up. So when he say something or she say something or they say something, it should be a confirmation to what already in the private place that the Most High has been talking to you about. All right, so I didn't want to get preachy, but here we go. So let's go. Matthew 7. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth to life, and few that find it. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. This is why we need discernment, right? If we just need our ego stroke, right? The enemy studies us. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Abba Yahuwah come that we have life in that more abundantly. He studied us to see what we like. And that thing that we like, that's what he's going to dress it up and send it to us. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. But ye shall know them by their fruits, right? So if they're not showing bearing forth no fruit, then they might not be it. Now sometimes we have a bad day. Sometimes we get frustrated. Sometimes we get aggravated, right? But you shall know them by their fruits, right? Even so, a good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, right? You watch a man after a while, you'll see how they really are. Just watch them a little bit and see if their mouth is matching up with their heart, or if their posture and their mouth matching up with the things of the Most High. It's gonna come out because you can't hide it. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewed down and cast into the fire. Again, that's Abba Yah's job. That ain't for us. Somebody didn't believe our revelation or didn't listen to us, and everybody's a false prophet, and they dumb and they stupid and they going to hell, and you don't know, right? I remember with Sister Holder, the Gates of Holder, she said somebody was telling her a while back that we were the people, and she said she thought that they was false and they lost their mind. They didn't lost their mind. I remember her telling that, and she said, "Come to find out, the Most High whispered to her and showed her, yeah, y'all are the people." Deuteronomy 28. Y'all are the people of the book. This y'all book. This y'all history, right? This is y'all book, right? I didn't replace y'all, right? So therefore, by their fruits you shall know them. And not everyone that said to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of my Father, my Abba, which is in heaven. So we want to do the will of the Most High. And it's kind of weird. This is another thing that's so weird. So I'm just doing the will of my Father. And everybody's saying, if it's one Lord, one faith, one baptism, we're using that word Lord. Like, everybody doing the will of the Father. And everybody else is false. So hold on. You got 30 people saying 30 different things, and all of them doing the will of the Father. But y'all not the author of confusion. Your spirit should, even though you ain't been with that person study, it should bear witness, right? You ain't saying one thing and they saying a whole other different thing, and she's saying something over here different, and they saying, nah, this could happen. Revelation. It could be revelation. Abba Yahuwah dealing with this person over here on this person over there on that, this person who's showing this person over here. So Abba Yah might not have showed you something else, right? That's not on the radar. That's not, but to say, man, that ain't it. How you know? That could be a valuable piece to a puzzle that you don't understand yet, right? Just because he ain't show that to you, right? Don't mean that that's it, right? So we ask the Most High for discernment. Yo, is this of you? Like some stuff out here, I'll be like, that sounds wild right there. Then I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna put on the back burner. I ain't gonna dismiss it, right? Because I've learned quantum leaped on the learn so much stuff within the last 2 years that it's just like, wow. I never would have thought really the last 3 years. It's like, wow. So now when I hear something, unless it's just crazy, real crazy, then I'd be like, that sounds real Star Trekky. But I ain't gonna dismiss it though. I ain't gonna dismiss it because I don't know everything. Right. So if it is the truth, he'll bring back to your remembrance. How many know he'll bring back to your remembrance? There were some things that I would learn when I was young, right? I was halfway listening and wasn't even paying attention. And he would bring it up later. Like, whoa, that's what you meant. Right? He dropped some way back, 87, 85. Oh man, I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going on. Right? Then I come later when I'm in college, it's like, oh, this is what the Abaya meant. Oh, right. So hold on. So everybody is not after you, and everybody who don't agree with you is not a false prophet and fake and phony and all this other stuff. Calm down, pump the brakes. And even if now we do got some wolves in sheep clothing, I just read it. But we pray to the Abaya that he may expose that and we see what's going on with it, so we can we deal with it accordingly. I don't think we're supposed to be mean nothing. And let's think about Moshe. Moshe, he hit the rock the first time when he was in the wilderness. Water came out. These folk got on his last nerve. They was tripping, right? He trying to do the things of the Most High, right? The first time, Moshe, I'm about to kill all of them, start over with you. And then he interceded for him. Then the Most High like, okay. Because he's like, no, you're going to bring him out to the wilderness to die. They're going to say you brought him all the way out in the wilderness to die. No, okay. I ain't going to kill him. I want to see where your heart was at. That's good. You're coming a long way from killing that Egyptian and throwing him in the sand. Because that was by your might and by your power, right? But that wasn't by my spirit. So you needed 40 years in to get my spirit. 40 years. He went in the wilderness when he was 40-ish. And then he started when he was about 80-something. So it's like, oh, okay, you got my spirit. Okay, cool. That's cool. I'm glad to see you interceded for him. Okay, I see you you got a shepherd's heart, right? Good. But he wearing him out. They wearing Moshe out in the wilderness. They wearing that brother out. Now the second time he like speak to the rock, and it's gonna give you water. Moshe so frustrated with Israel that he hits the rock. So now Most High like, yo, you disobedient. You frustrated and you disobedient. Right? I didn't say hit the rock. I said speak to the rock. You hit the rock out of frustration. Who knows who was watching? You could have hit it all crazy, right? You hitting the rock out of frustration. Now, Abba, y'all like, your action, you was my oracle, your action, they gonna think that's how I feel. I don't feel nothing like that. That ain't how I feel, right? At this point, that ain't how I feel. So guess what? You can go to the edge, but you're not going into the promised land in the natural. Right, but we believe that he went into the Shemayim. He's gonna be a part, because it says in Jude that the enemy was trying to get his body, because the enemy was so happy that he hit that rock. Like, he bet he forfeit, but Abba Yah like, nah, it ain't, nope, it ain't, nope, that's mine. And then the angel said, "How Satan the Lord rebuke you? How Satan the Most High rebuke you? Nah, this you nah." He can't go in the promised land, but it ain't forfeit like that. And that's because of his mercy and his grace, right? But he couldn't physically go in the promised land because he was talking spicy, smiting rocks, and misrepresenting the Most High. So that's why we need that fruit. Period, point blank, right? And we be fighting just crazy. And it's so I'm going to share this video. So I'm getting to this. Man, that went over. Shoot. I shouldn't have showed them first videos, but it's all good. I'm edified right now. All right, so brother Eshawn Burgundy, and I'm just gonna show a few parts of it. Eshawn Burgundy went to the continent, as you know, right? Him and his wife Zaria just came within the knowledge of who we are, and boy, they lost in the beginning. You know what I mean? Also for 10,000 members, but it grew since then. But people weren't understanding it, right? He hit the ground running, but he had made a video. Africa is not what we thought. Now he wasn't dogging just the continent out altogether, and it's on this Transparency podcast. So I am going to share it, and hopefully YouTube be cool. But I'm going to share it, and then I got 85 in the comment. Ooh, I did not even I've been going on. I've been rattling, y'all. I've been rattling, but it's good. I feel so good right now, man. I feel so good. It ain't about me feeling good, but I just, I'm edified. Not because I said something, but it's just that, I'm reminding myself what I need to be on. All right. So these are the few things that he was talking about. I'm going to try to fast forward to a few of the parts, then I'm going to share the link in there. But for some reason, when we go to the continent, if we don't get killed over here, the ones who make it to the continent, and he's going to purge the rebels in the wilderness and do all this different ships and charges. I get that. I get it. But what I'm saying, when we go over there, it's not a vacation, y'all. It's not a vacation. So we got to get our minds right, our posture right, right? When we was in the wilderness, the first Exodus, man, some of them was murmuring and complaining and talking about leeks and onions, and man, it ain't like how it was back in Egypt, right? And we might say, well, man, they're not even grateful. Well, no, they were slaves. They got taken care of to a degree, and there was certain things that they were used to. There was certain things that they was comfortable with, and there were certain things that they liked, right? That they didn't have access to anymore, right? Now, we're nation builders. Wherever we go, we build, right? And we got a wealth of knowledge, and we got a story to tell, and we got a lot of stuff. But they will have to open up on the continent. We've been 400 years removed from the continent. So it's still some things that the Most High got to do. Now, I'm going to also say this. This is not going to be 100%, in my opinion. So if it's some scriptures with it, email me the scriptures. Full peace, because it's sin in the earth, because it's falling, right? Because the earth is jacked up. So it's not going to be full peace until we get the Sar Shalom, the Prince of Peace. Once we get the Prince of Peace, then we can experience the full peace. So it's still going to be some things. It's still going to be some things that we have to make adjustments to, right? So he was saying when he went over here, I'm going to give an outline and then I'm going to skip some of it and then we're going to get out of here. So food, one of the things that he was talking about was the food. Certain parts, they didn't have spring water. Him and his wife was used to the spring water, right? But they only had mineral water, but they have minerals in the water, right? So it tastes different. So she said sometimes it tastes like well water and stuff like that. Now you might say that's a small overlook, okay? But he was just talking about it, the nutritional value of a lot of different things, you know what I mean? And again, this is not to deter us from going to the continent. I'm not saying that, but he was telling us the whole everything. And I'm also talking to Stepping Stones to Home. I got an interview with them next week. We're gonna chew the fat about that whale and stuff. Sanitation, right? It's a lot of things that was in place, that the way we clean food, and we got these different things. He was like, the way that they would sanitize different things. He believed that that's how he ended up getting sick, right? Healthcare, and he was talking about culture, right? So he said, I mean, we 400 years removed, and some of us gonna be like, welcome home, we love you, this, that, and the other. Some of them think we just got bags of money, You see what I'm saying? Like we just loaded. You know what I'm saying? Because you see the videos, I would think that too. If I'm in a underdeveloped country, so-called underdeveloped country, because it's the richest continent, you know. But if we don't have access to it, then it's underdeveloped in certain parts. And we watching videos. They got chains. You know, they buying a bar. They're like, man, them bros got some bread. They don't know it ain't like that. You know what I mean? They don't know that some of us is a paycheck away. They don't know that. You know what I mean? But you is rich. You got the newest iPhone, you got the Jordans, blah, 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 blah. I digress. So they're gonna charge you premium price on something, you know, something that might cost 15. They're gonna charge you 25, 30. He was saying this. I'm not dogging out. This just hear me out. Hear me out. And he was because he said, like, man, like we just loaded like that. And then it's still this thing in certain areas that you are a foreigner, right? Because you got your swag, you got your idea, you got your way how you do stuff, right? And he was basically saying, man, you're a foreigner. You feel what I'm saying? You're not included. Not all the time, not every place. I'm just listen to me. I'm not saying don't go to the continent. I want to go. But these are some good food for thoughts that he was talking about. So I'm gonna share a few parts of the video. First thing about the food, and then about the health, and then about the culture, and then about stability. Right? Basically, like, what's your plan B? Because a lot of times he's saying people think that you just gonna come, get on the continent, and just stay. But what they, you know, if you're not a citizen, then they might kick you out. Right? Where you gonna go? How you gonna, you know, do you have enough money? And so it was interesting. It was interesting. So I thought it was very, very interesting. I'm gonna play some of it, and then we're gonna get out of here.
They putting this bottled water over here with all these different minerals and chemicals in it. Why we can't just find no fresh spring water? And so, man, that was disheartening. So I was really going through it, you know. And throughout, you know, our time here, we've been able to find, you know, a few companies that offer water with less of those things, but never spring water. So spring water, because it's in a spring, the water is in there with the rocks and other things, and it gets the minerals naturally from the earth, and it's a part of the water. The mineral water is adding those things after
It's
the
like
fact.
the generic version. It's like getting the natural version versus the generic version. And I found myself a few times about to pass out, and I couldn't understand why, because I was drinking water. I'm like, I'm drinking water. Am I about to pass out? So it was like so hot, and I wasn't properly able to hydrate myself.
Yeah.
And I started getting sick. And then that led into the issue with the food that we found out. You know,
But let me say this before you get into that about the water too, because there's a lot of the waters have sodium in it. It's like drinking water to get replenished, but you don't get replenished.
Yeah.
It doesn't replenish you. If anything, it makes your body probably more dehydrated.
Yeah.
So it's no hydration, and that's, like I said, that's very disheartening and frustrating for me. But go ahead about that.
And so I started feeling kind of sick first. Well, we all actually got sick. My oldest daughter, she got sick first. She got a really uncomfortable infection, and we didn't know, like, what. No, my son got sick first.
Yeah.
We thought he had malaria because he had a high fever, and I talked about it when I did my House Africa video. I think part 2. We had to take him to the emergency room. You know, we gave him some medicine and stuff like that, but he got sick. Then my daughter got sick. Like, we all just got hit. And people were like, you know, it's the travel bug. Like, when you travel and you're kind of like trying to assimilate to a new culture, sometimes your body has to adjust and you'll get sick. So we all got hit, I think, except for you. And then we felt better. Like, we felt okay. But then after that, we started feeling like, even though we're drinking water and eating pretty healthy, because when we came here, we were still eating plant-based. We did not eat meat. We did not eat dairy. And so I'm like, okay, well, why do I, like, in America, when I eat plant-based. And by plant-based, I don't mean fake food, like, you know, fake tofu and burgers that are made of people. I'm talking about like vegetables, like greens and stuff like that. Like really eating green leafy vegetables and food like that. So when we came here, we couldn't find kale. We couldn't find like collard greens, turnip greens, none of that. The only thing was really cabbage and spinach. And I don't even.
So when she said the kale, collard green, and turnip green, I got excited. Like, bet you ain't got kale on the continent that like that. Collard greens, that's what I do. And then it was saying it was some sanctions, like certain areas is you can't bring it in there. Cause I can get collard green seeds and some kale seeds, and it's on and popping. You feel me? Give me some land, give me some water. It's on. We can introduce kale, but she was just basically saying like, "Yo, it was you couldn't sell it." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What?" And that's not a deal breaker because I can't get no no kale and no collards. But I was like, man, I'm saying so it's gonna be praying against a lot of the sanctions and stuff because we got witty inventions, we got ideas. We're nation builders. Do you see in the March Madness? Are you seeing the bowl games? Are you seeing the NBA Finals? Are you seeing the concerts? Are you seeing the all the stuff that we do? You know, and even if we ain't productive and they lock us up, you know, the mass incarceration, right? We're a walking dollar bill, I should say. So when we go over to the continent, the areas that's down, I'm like, yo, we gonna build them joints up. You know what I'm saying? But the jealousy, envy, the hatred, who you think you is, just that and the other. We gotta, you know, that's just in our community over here. So how much more potentially, but us being a foreigner. So again, it's not a deal breaker. If Babylon on fire, it is what it is, and we up out of here. But I thought that was interesting. But the next thing she talked about was health. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that.
Up to know, and then to talk to a lot of natives and professionals who were like, yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of times people just don't tell you that part.
And I think people don't say these things because it makes the continent look less attractive. And I feel like because it's been so many negative things we've heard about Africa, you know, for our entire lives, most of us. You don't want to shine you don't want to talk about the negatives. You want to talk about how beautiful it is, how free you feel over here, which are, you know, things that I definitely can attest to and relate to. But at the same time, when you don't tell people, and this is a part of the reason why we're doing what we're doing, if you don't tell people what to expect, people will come over here being naive and end up getting caught up in things, you know, sometimes can't reverse. And so, you know, we don't want to see that happen. We definitely something real. You know,
Yeah.
if you see some of our photos or see our videos or whatever, you feel like, oh man, they're in paradise. We've suffered through some things.
Yeah, people want you to believe that you're gonna just escape every problem when you come to Africa, and that's not true. We've actually had more problems here than in America, as far as our health and just even our emotional wellness. Because when your health is affected, it affects every other area of your life.
Yeah,
I've never been as sick as I have been here anywhere else, and that affects your business, that affects your marriage, that affects your mothering. It hits every area. So health is very important. So I can't say that I agree that Africa just cures every problem. It really doesn't. Anywhere you go, there's going to be a problem. You have to figure out what problem are you more comfortable with. Like there are things that we looked into, like, well, they have these things, but then this is like really important to us. So again, like they may have the kale and the herbs and the this somewhere, but then the safety and the this is important. And we'll get into some other things about stability. We can't have no stability there. So don't believe the hype that coming to Africa solves all of your problems. If anything, when you first get here, you're probably most likely going to feel like you're in paradise, but then you're going to go through challenges where you're going to find it is not what you expected. And you're going to find that you have challenges that you never thought you would have or experience in the States. You really have to be led by the Most High to be where you need to be. You have to let him lead you. And, you know, just to be honest, there are some things we weren't fully sure on when we first came here. And we kind of moved ahead despite really having like strong confirmation, like really being like, yeah, we have absolute this. Yeah. There were some loose ends that didn't really fully make sense. But I had recently lost my second baby and I wasn't in the right headspace. And so normally my discernment is strong. I'm like, yeah, no. And at that time, I wasn't in a place. So I was just like, okay, let's just go. And we went. And I don't think that anybody should ever do that. I think we suffered for that decision moving in that way. Yah has given us grace. He's come through. He's protected us. But you don't ever want to make that decision because a whole bunch of people are just telling you this is like the best thing you can ever do for your life. It might not be the best thing for you in your home. You really got to make sure that what's good for everybody else is not good for you. Just like what we're talking about might not be your same experience. You might be like, well, that didn't happen to me and that was cool.
Yeah, so I think that's very interesting that they said that. The next part, I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna let the video play in a minute. I'm gonna read the comments and we're gonna get out here. It was culture. So culture and then stability. Now, one thing they did say that was pretty interesting was they talked about you can walk down the street 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, you know what I mean, and you'll be good. I'm like, what? Back alleys and all of that. The place that they was at, they could walk down the street 1 in the morning. Not that we walk in fear anyway, but you know, you always looking over your shoulder because you're like, yo, what's up? Especially in certain areas. But anyway, let's play this next part and then the last part, then we're gonna get out of here.
Then
yeah,
I'm thinking we're gonna find
culture,
peace and harmony and fellowship, and I'm not saying that's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong,
but from a cultural perspective, let outsiders in this like that.
Yeah,
like you know how you go to America, it's like a melting pot, and you have the Asian hanging with the Chinese. A lot of countries here, they'll speak to you and they're really nice, but they're not gonna go but so far with you. Like they're gonna protect their own over you. Like we've heard stories of people's houses getting robbed, of certain things happening, and they mad nice to everybody in the community, and nobody that they've talked to, that they've helped, that they gave food to, would tell them who did it. Because it's like, you a foreigner.
Because you're a foreigner.
Like,
So at the end of the day, you find out where you stand. Mm-hmm. With people, you know what I'm saying, and you're part of their culture, you're in their environment, you're on their soil. At the end of the day, you're a foreigner. Even though we're from here, a lot of the people in Africa don't know our story. They don't know about.
They don't even know what slavery is. A lot of people. They're like,
they don't know what we went through. They don't know about racism.
They're like, why would anybody treat you like that just because of your skin? Like what? Yeah, like we have to show them.
It's crazy.
Pictures
they don't know about Jim Crow. They don't know about the civil rights. They don't know
about profiling. They don't know about police. They're like, huh? They're like, this doesn't sound like the America I know. Just like we've been given a certain picture of Africa, they've been given a certain picture of America.
Yes, indeed.
So we've had to show certain people that we've built like camaraderie with, like, here, this is this, and they're like, I thought America, everything, paradise, beautiful. So like you got us over there thinking that's what it is here, and them over here thinking that's what it is in America. Yeah. And that's what happens, I think, when the media or certain people
they control the narrative.
You don't get the full balance, you don't get the full picture. So yeah, culturally, I remember when we got to the first country, I woke up. In the first country, the people just were not, they were nice people, but they were not nice to us like that. Especially when we got to the airport, they were very nasty. I was done. Like when we got to the airport, it was like a horrible experience. But then when you got into the community, it was like, they're gonna stare because you look different, and that's something we got used to. But it was just like we thought we would just be welcomed, like, brother,
welcome home.
In the second country, they were like that a little bit more. But I remember waking up and I'm looking out over, like, just I could I'm hiding the place that we're in so I could just see everything. And I remember being like, I came all the way to Africa and I still don't feel home. Like I teared up because I still don't belong. Like I still don't belong. And for me, I know it's different for you, but for me, I felt more at home in America than here. And so I started getting really homesick because I was like, no, I'm not. You know, first of all, these are different types of tribes and cultures. Like just because people are Black, I think people think we're all one. We are not all one. We are not the same. Even all of Yasharel is not Yasharel. So imagine different tribes and cultures and this and that. Like, so you come and you find like, oh my gosh, it's a massive amount of tribes and different people. Like, and they believe different things and they engage with other cultures in different ways. So you're not about to just come in here and meet your long lost family. Like that's not happening. So I felt very alone. I felt very, very like, dang, we done came all the way over here and I still don't feel home. It made sense to me that y'all was like, you won't have a home as my people. Like you, like your home is with me. When you're with me, I am your home. But as far as a land, so that was
not yet, y'all.
Not yet.
Not yet, y'all. That's what I was saying, man. It's gonna be cool, but when he did that millennial reign, and he he touched down, we had a real Shalom, then that's what it is, because a lot of the land on the continent, and again, this is not a negative shade at all. I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying it's brought up by French, the Chinese, they come in and they build up a low area, and then they, but then they got they hooks and they stakes into that community. You know what I'm saying? And so, and you at the mercy, because it ain't a lot of weaponry like that. Over here, I don't even know. I guess it's different gun laws in different countries over there. But over here, people strapped to the teeth, right? But over there, you know what I mean? You at the mercy, because a lot of them countries don't even got nuclear weapons. They ain't even thinking like that. That ain't even their mindset. But I believe in it. I'm funding the war, Boko Raton and all that, man. Where you get all these weapons from? Who funding y'all to terrorize so somebody else can come in and save the day? But anyway, I digress. This is the last part of it. Stability. All right. Now, again, I'm going to put the link in the chat, and then we're going to get out of here. All right. Here we go.
Right now, just
it
go.
doesn't, yeah.
You just got to leave.
And so if you have to keep renewing your visa to stay somewhere and you have a family, that means that you better have a really good budget to keep flying and taking a plane somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Because say you, like us, it's 5 of us, we got to get 5 tickets if we have to go or come back. Now, thankfully, the first country we were in was a little too complicated, and they were like very, I felt like they were, what do you call it? When they like rob you of your money? Extorting us.
Yeah.
Like you paying all this money and then you really can't even stay. The second country was a little bit different. But nevertheless, you're paying money for however many people are in your family to keep renewing the visa. And then if they say no, you have to leave. Sometimes you can come back, but it's for a certain time. So it's like stability. Like when you in America and you have a passport, you belong there. You don't have to get out of America. You could just go to another state or whatever. When you're outside of the continent, you don't have those rights. You have to abide by when they enter can go. Now, ultimately, we asked Yah to give us favor. He has given us favor a number of times, and we were at odds with certain things. He's just given us favor. Yeah. But think about if Yah's not telling you to do something, and you just go and do it, and you bring all your children, and you think you're just gonna stay. Like, I'm gonna go and we're gonna be good. No, what is your plan if they tell you have to leave? How much money do you have if you have to keep taking a plane to leave every 3 months or every 6 months or every whatever? Do you have that to keep doing that back and forth so you can come back to that place? Do you have it's just, yeah.
There's a lot to consider.
It's a lot to consider.
A lot of people they don't say these things. They don't discuss this part. So you have some people, like I said, people who reached out to me personally, like, yo, yeah, bro, I'm thinking about taking my family to Africa. What do I need to do? Or yo, we ready to go now. And I'm like, You know, first of all, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. You know, there's a number of things to consider. First and foremost, you need to make sure Yah is really talking to you and speaking to you to do this.
And
because
not the
this
spirit of fear.
Exactly. Don't let it be the spirit of fear that you're adhering to, that you're listening to, because it's going to stare you down. I mean, it's going to take you down the wrong road.
Path.
Take you down a wrong, difficult path.
Especially if you run out of money here.
You don't want to run out of money. You don't want to end up, you know, doing things that are illegal because you got.
There ain't no food stamp system. There ain't no WIC.
Yeah,
there ain't no shelters like we're used to in America. Like you're not gonna have the same. Like America has a lot of things in place if you just don't have it. You know, not so in other countries, especially if you don't belong there in a sense where you're not a native. They're not gonna just take care of you like that. You know, so you gotta really,
you gotta make.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. So I put the link to that in the chat. Very good. I hope it didn't, because right here we got My Life Totally says some people are happy over there. This video is not to say, don't do it, y'all. I told y'all. I'm just saying it's just a due diligence video from somebody who went before us. I believe it's going to be a blessed place. Even Elder Adams, he said, it depends on what part of Africa you are in. I have cousins who live in Ghana, and I have been there for over 20 years. It's not like that there. My cousin wasn't there. I've been there visiting for 2 weeks. But then, Elder, also, too, they said they've been there for 2 years or whatever. So it's a difference between, going someplace and staying and then parking and saying, yo, this is my resident, and I'm a citizen here. You know what I mean? Because if you visiting on a vacation mode, man, the bananas is good, this, that, and other. And then if you get mineral water or something ain't right, you good because you've been to be leaving in the list. But we talking about parking. We talking about staying. We talking about that. So this video, I repeat, this video was not to deter anybody from it, right? Because even right here with Total Life said, Americans have been over there talking about us. Africans been over there talking about us. Oh, you had another one. I don't know what happened to it. Shout out to Elder Lou. Blessed to you. Shalom. Shalom, Elder Lou. But yeah, so I forgot it was something that you had. Man, what happened? But anyway, right here. This is good too. My cousin's mother was over there too visiting. She just got back and said she loved it. She said it was just too hot for her. Yeah, again, as opposed to parking, living there, and we don't really think about. And I'm not saying rethink. I'm not saying that because if they poison the water and they keep spraying chemtrail, and you got ABC XYZ, the ships to Tarshish. Come on, we gotta, it's just when and where. So that's why we got to be in prayer. You know what I mean? And but that's interesting because they do got stamps in place. They do got WIC in place. They got all these different things, and that could be a form of leeks and onions too. But that's some good reality to say, yo, you ain't gonna hit, because even our people that's down bad over here, that man that's standing outside Church's Chicken or that's standing outside the Family Dollar, he still, if he get enough money, can get him a hotel room. He still, if he get enough money, can go get some food, right? They can, you know what I'm saying? So it's different, right? It's different. So it's all about community. And this is interesting. You said we can go to Kumu Island in Uganda for 3,000 acres. Yeah. I also think about this too. It's just you got haters and you got innovators. And haters is not just it's in all skin colors. It's just the jealousy of man, right? Just hate. Like you come up with some innovative, and sometimes they don't congratulate. They hate, right? So I'm picturing, and this might not happen. I'm not saying that. We go over there deep. right? We already know what's going on. Oh, y'all ain't got no greens? Oh, okay. Oh, y'all Wi-Fi service is okay? Oh, okay. Oh, what's going on? Oh, y'all schooling? Oh, okay. We come with our time, talent, and treasure and be all in one area, 50 to 40 families deep, and within 8 to 10 years, have that place jumping. You get what I'm saying? But the bureaucracy and the hate, like, you know how the bureaucracy we get. You got the Democrats like, okay, yo, you can only do so much. It's like, why? We got, come on. You ain't doing that with that. Let's knock it down and put a garden or a park right there. And they come with all of this red tape and all of these titles. And I cannot stand bureaucracy, y'all. But you know what I mean? And we majority vote Democrat. I don't care if you vote Democrat or Republican. I don't do either one. But I'm saying these different strongholds and these sanctions and who told you to dig a well here and that, man, because you ain't got no water and we got the equipment and we got some businessmen ready to dig the well. That's how I mobilize. That's how I think. And a lot of us think like that, right? So we have to get a buy-in from the natives, from the family that been on the continent, right? Just like how we deal with Jim Crow, we deal with what's the name of that mindset? God, it's on the tip of my tongue. They deal with colonialism, imperialism. What's the name of it? I can't even think of it. It's a thing that we deal with Stockholm syndrome and all these different things like that. They deal with certain things too, right? And so we got to get buy-in and we can do the thing, right? And I remember too when Teo was talking to, I guess he was talking to T3 and me or somebody else. And it ain't like Walmart's everywhere. I'm not Walmart's, Menards, Home Depot, and Lowe's. You just go, oh, I want to go I need some wood. Just get in your car and go get some wood. You know, some stuff is not allowed into the country. Some stuff, so we had to go do your due diligence, visit. That's why I wish we just was all bankrolled. We just go visit that mug. You know what I mean? Visit Tanzania, visit Ghana, visit Benin, visit Togo. You know what I mean? West Africa, visit Mali. I really want to visit Ethiopia, man. Really want to visit Kenya, right? I really want to visit even Egypt. You know what I mean? I want to see what's going on over there. Really, really want to visit those places and just get out and travel and see what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just different. It's just different culturally. So you have to get our mindset in a different space, in a different place, and be transformed because we're going to a whole new way of life and a whole new way of doing things without murmuring and complaining, right? Because the Most High took care of them people out in the wilderness for years, right? For 40 years. This was an 11-day journey, took 40 years because they still had Egypt in them. And we got a lot of Babylon in us, believe it or not. And so he gotta let the Most High do his thing. But let me look at these chats and we're gonna get out of here. There are some who put drugs in our hoods. Don't get it twisted. They're the same ones who put drugs in our hood. Don't get it twisted. Okay. Daughter of Yah, peace and blessings. Shalom, blessings to you. Blessings to you. Okay, we in here chopping it up. Africa is a slum with millions of homeless people. Yeah, some parts is. Some parts is. But I'm telling you, you got to get buy-in. Because even here, it's a lot of hoods that's just ran over and hoods that slums, right? But when you get buy-in from the community, then you can start to build that community. And we're not waiting for the great, waiting for Superman or waiting for special Democrat to come fly in, special Republican to fly in, and this. No, we can do this. And we need autonomy. We need to bring something to the table, or either build our own table, right? And I think that's the idea. Shout out to Elder Shannon III. He was like, man, look, why don't you start working on building your own table? We always talk about bringing something to the table, right? We bring a lot to the table. We could build our own table. They don't want us to talk like that, right? We very intelligent, and we got a lot of resources. Wimbledon D, shalom, family. Wimbledon D, shalom. Yeah, we got a lot of resources. Well, we got doctors, lawyers. I'm not saying that they don't have it on the continent, but we got all these different. We've been to school. We've been doing all this. You know what I mean? And if we went over there, man, 100 families deep from all walks of life, medical background, military background, farming background, dental background, you know, carpentry background, from construction, man, and we concentrated to one area, man, and with no bureaucracy, no red tape, right? Now be tripping me out when officials hate on the area because they had nothing to do with it, or they don't get no cut from it, like no money, or you know what I mean. They ain't, you know, that trips me out when politicians over here do that. No bureaucracy, right? Let us be, right? Don't fund Boca Raton with some weapons, shower posse from Jamaica with weapons, and then had them come in and slum village it back up. Leave us alone. Leave it alone and leave us alone. I guarantee you know what I mean? But then again, it's just a temporary thing. It's a band-aid. But the Abba Yah gonna bring the healing. You know, that's just my wishful thinking. And I'm not saying it can't be done. But I just think that it's yeah, let's say this is Brew Queen. Make sure, family, the Most High is leading and you hear the voice. Yes, absolutely, Brew. You so right on that. You so right on that. So I don't know. Oh, we got a scripture in here. Let's check it out. Isaiah 43:2 will protect us through fire, water, rivers. Great scripture of encouragement. Amen. Amen. Rohan, yep, definitely visit. Yep. Yep. I just wish we could visit. You know, we across the pond. Now, like I said, I met some people online, some very good people. You know what I mean? Sammy Wega, he does farming over there. It's always hot. He does pineapples, and I forgot, I think he do bananas or some other stuff. And he does the travel. He's like a travel agent. So I'm gonna be reaching back out to him to get him back on the show. And yeah, man. So we gotta do that. Yes, we can. It's probably why they push back against us so hard. Right. Right. When folk be like, man, go back to Africa then. Yeah, blankety blank blank byword. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Leave, give us all one way ticket back then. Release all of the prisoners. Look, we ain't gonna be filling up your stadiums for March Madness. You ain't gonna see none of us for the Super Bowl. I'm not saying you're not gonna be able to have no game, right? Ain't no more fancy dunks and end zone dancing and no singing, no. You need us, right? You build your wealth off our backs. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really want us to go back. That's why you make it unattractive. You really don't want us to go back. You just want us to behave. Slave. Be cool. Right? Stay in your position. Shut up and dribble. Right? That's what you do. You don't get into politics and you already have a place of influence, right? I don't want you, that's one thing that happened with Pop. He got in a place of influence, but he still was stubborn. He still had that Black Panther background or whatever. And it's like, oh man, right? They want to have your mind, will, and emotions. They want you to bow down for their endorsements and stuff. But I'm going to a whole other show. All right. You do not have to go to West Africa. That's right. Visit Ethiopia. Yeah, I don't know why I want to visit Ethiopia. But I always wanted to visit Ethiopia and I always wanted to visit Kenya. I always wanted to visit Ghana. I mean, I did want to visit South Africa. It's mysterious about the Congo, right? But I still want to go up in there, check it out. You know what I mean? But even today I was watching the video and they don't show the modern built up cities, right? They show zebras walking around, lions walking around. They show the people with the bone in their nose, whatever, the tribal people that they carrying the bag of corn on their back And then, it's like, oh man, but there are developed cities. Like I seen pictures of the mall in Ghana. I seen the skyline in Benin, right? These are some beautiful places, not just tropic, but I'm saying beautiful places, and they never show that, right? They don't want you to have a desire to go back. We just have to stick together wherever we at. Yeah. No, we just chewing the fat, bro. Or sis, which both of y'all might be on. Shalom. We chewing the fat. Yeah. Absolutely. We do gotta stick together, man. We gotta stick together. Oh yeah. I thought about this too with the new Black Wall Street. We go over there, time, talent, treasure, build up a new Wall Street. Like everybody be cool, man. Everybody can eat, right? Right? You can teach us some stuff. We can teach y'all some stuff. They can teach us how to be humble and be happy. Because I remember Elder Dwayne Coleman, blessings to him. He said he went over there. Man, they had dirt floors and different things in the area that he was at, and they were just smiling ear to ear, and they were just happy. They didn't have the same stress and frustrations that we had, that we deal with, the privilege. Even though we our community is ramsacked, some of our community, we still got this little privilege that we don't locate, that we don't know about. Like, man, I ain't going through that. I ain't eating that. I ain't doing that. We don't know about it. Saraya. Blessings to you. Shalom. Yep. They have the swimming team. Who had a swimming team? What that mean? They had the swimming team. What that mean? Yeah. But yeah. Yep, they had Pop. You're so right. They kept Pac under surveillance because of Black Panther background. Saw him as a threat. He started talking about banks and stuff, man. Right? He would let people stay in his house, get it together. You know what I mean? And people that didn't have places to go, he'd be on tour, but he'd let people stay in his house and stuff, and get built up. You know what I mean? And so it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. Trump called it S-hole nations. I remember that. Yeah. And again, back to America, man. They trying to fight everybody, man. They trying to fight everybody. So they do this litmus test to see where we at. That's why they put the social medias out. As a man feeleth, as a man thinketh, so he posted. That's my scripture. That's the revelation of DB. But you're gonna post what you feel, right? If you're not happy, you're not gonna post happy stuff, right? Or if you're ignorant to a certain thing, you're gonna post. You know what I mean? They could do something real serious, and then just go on social media and see it's a temperature gauge, right? Social media is a temperature gauge, right? To show, okay, where the people at? How they feeling, right? How they feeling today, right? Do they know what's going on? Do they know what was going on? Are they catching the breath of it? Oh, okay, they cool. All right, they still making videos, they dancing, they worried about what Beyonce did or whatever, right? They was happy about the hip hop turning 50 and all that. Okay, they cool. But then when you got people in the streets shouting out, mad, doing crazy, that's man, we got to get control of the mind, will, and emotion of the people, right? Because they get out of control, they outnumber us, and we done. So we got to get control of the mind, will, and emotion of the people. All right. So start this on Record Lab, the other rappers. Yeah. Elder Adams, they both hold water. One just holds more than the other. Elephant Man Podcast. Yo, remember y'all come on out and check out Sister E. She coming on this Sunday, 6 p.m. She coming on this Sunday. Blessings. Check out all of the Sunday weekly bills if you can. Blessings to you all. The Grow Culture webinar is coming soon about growing. Some people say I live in an apartment. Some people say I don't have a big backyard. You don't need that. You work with what you got. So you got to assess what you get, what you have. We got a little something on that, and then you grow from there. Let's get growing, right? You can grow cucumbers on the inside. I get. You used to think we couldn't grow pollinator plants on the inside. Yes, you can. You can hand pollinate with Q-tips, with fans, and different things like that. So Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversation, dealing with evidence in the room. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Woke Baby says subscribe, share. All right. And we are out.
Perfect.